welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be telling you guys about things you should know and do to your hair before getting any protective styles. So let's jump straight into the video. There's three things you should do to your hair before getting any protective style, and the first one is you should wash your hair. Start off your protective style with clean hair. Um, Hair grows from the scalp, so a clean scalp equals healthy hair, equals length retention. You know, we are all, who doesn't want healthy hair? If your scalp is dirty and you're going into a protective style and you're going to be adding oils to your scalp, you're going to be putting sprays, you're clogging your pores and you are not going to have any hair growth. In fact, you're going to stunt your hair growth. So make sure to start your protective style with clean hair, so you can rip off the most benefit off of your protective style. The second thing you should do to your hair before getting a protective style is deep condition. You need to deep condition because deep conditioning adds moisture to your hair, and you need all the moisture you can get before tucking your hair away for however amount of weeks you're going to have your protective style in for. So the more moisturized your hair is, the better it is for your hair. That means less breakage, which means less breakage, like less dryness. It means less dryness, and that leads to less hair breakage. The last thing you should do to your hair before getting a protective style is definitely check your ends. Your ends are the oldest part of your hair, and so it tends to get the driest. It rubs on your clothes, it rubs on your body. So it is susceptible to more breakage than the rest of your hair. So you need to check your hair and examine if you do have some split ends. If you do keep up with your trims, you shouldn't be having a lot to get rid of. So you can just probably do a light dusting. But if you have a lot of split ends, I suggest you cut them off before getting a protective style. It don't make no sense for you to get a protective style only for your hair to be shorter at the end of that style because you started your protective style with damaged hair. So if your ends are split and broken, they're only going to travel more, or rather farther up the shaft, and that's going to lead to more breakage. So you need to check your hair. If you have any split ends, get rid of them and then get your protective style. For me, I've been on a protective journey for 3 months. I wanted to do a challenge for 3 months because my hair has been going through it. So this is my last protective style. I have about 2 more weeks to go before I take this one out and get my relaxer touch up. So when I relaxed my hair the end of June, I think June 20th, I didn't cut off my split ends. I cut them off, I think a week later or 2 weeks later, sometime in July. First week of July, I trimmed my hair. So when I did get my first protective style, I didn't trim my hair, but I stayed with them. I had box braids for a month, and then I took them off and got cornrows. And before I installed the cornrows, I did do a light dusting. It was about 8 weeks post my my cut, because I did do a cut actually. I took off about 2 inches in July. So when I did cut my hair off last month, I only dusted off about half an inch, or even less. I didn't have a lot of split ends to take off. So make sure to check your ends and start your protective style with healthy ends. So these are some of the things you should know before getting a protective style, and that is those little tiny braids that look amazing but are too tiny. You know, like the I'll get some pictures and insert them up here. These type of hairstyles, they look good, but they're going to rip your hair out, especially if you are a relaxed girl. If you're natural, they are going to cause some damage, but especially if you do them a lot. But but your hair is probably much stronger and can withstand the tension better than somebody who has relaxed or textured hair. These hairstyles will rip your edges out. And unfortunately, some people whose hair come off, it's actually called tension alopecia, and it doesn't grow back for most people. So you have to be really, really careful on the sizing of the braids that you put in your hair. I know they look cute, but is it really worth the damage? I didn't think so. So you should opt for medium, large, jumbo. They probably wouldn't last as much or as long as the little tiny braids would last, but they're going to be much, much better for your hair's health in the long run. Another thing you should know is that you should not get protective styles back to back to back. You do need to give your hair a breather in between your protective style. For instance, when I started my protective style challenge, I did large braids for a month, knotless braids, and then I took it off, and probably 2 days later I got 2 or 3 days later I got cornrows done, and then I didn't really stay with the cornrows for as long as I should have. I stayed with them for like 2.5 weeks because I had an event that I was going to, and my hair was already looking raggedy, so I needed to, have my hair looking good. So I took them off, and that's actually when I did the curls in my last video in my channel. In case you haven't watched that video, go ahead and watch my video. It's up on my channel. It's about a tutorial on how to get some really nice 90s kind of curls going on your hair. So when I removed that hairstyle, I actually gave my hair a break for a week because I hadn't really taken a breather after getting my knotless braids done. I only took about 3 days, which isn't enough if you ask me. Like, you need to let your scalp relax, because too much tension back to back to back is not good for your hair. So give your hair a break in between your protective styles so that you don't cause too much tension and too much pulling and tugging on your hair. It's probably going to cause damage to your follicles. Another thing you should know is that you should keep your braids or your protective style for a minimum of 3 weeks. I'd say if you can do 4 minimum, that's even better, and a maximum of 8 weeks. Don't leave your protective styles in for 3 months, 4 months. You're going to have a lot of damage on your hair. It's going to cause a lot of breakage, a lot of dryness, because you might be moisturizing your hair topically, but it's not getting into your strands like it would be if you are moisturizing your hair when it's at its open state. So the longer you stay with your protective style, the drier your hair gets, and dry hair equals breakage. So make sure to leave your protective styles in for maximum of 8 weeks and then take them off, do a deep treatment, and then, get another protective style done. But also the minimum you should stay your hair, I'd say 3 weeks, but if you can do 4 weeks, the better, because we do get protective styles so we can get a break from daily combing and styling of our hair, which leads to a lot of manipulation, which leads to breakage. So having our hair in a protective style helps us to retain more length. So if you do a protective style and take it off a week later, 2 weeks later, aren't you just causing more manipulation? So it beats the purpose. So make sure your protective styles stay in for 3 and more weeks so that you can reap off the most benefit of your protective style. So yeah, this is all I had for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it or learned something, and I am going to see you on the next one. Bye.